And it's the paradigm, that's the suffering that we do, that we take on to get that lemonade out of it. We're squeezing it. And the existence of the experience and the reality, that the paradigm that we're living in, is on purpose. It's intentional. And though in intention, unintentional, um, we didn't really intend that we know of to have the experience, but we signed up for it because we came into the body to have the experience. Um, and with that understanding, we are able to look at it from a different perspective. And then the other thing is too, like when we're in divine love, our true self, our true state of being, and reflecting, when there's something outside of us that is not love, it's reflecting back to us, whether it is in that moment or in the lag, whichever we're picking up on. We can sit and change it from that point of view, that timeline, right? It's an overwrite. It's not nothing that's changing the system, because that is where you were before. That's your measure. From the measure of being loved, divinely connected, right? And that set point, we don't need forgiveness. We don't need healing. We don't need anything else other than just being loved. It's when we're separate that we need all things. We need laws, regulations, belief systems. We need the 10 commandments. We need don't kill. We need these things. And so they're set in place to kind of not really control us, but to monitor us. And so we can be and learn from the existence of being separate, right? And so those are kind of like like in bowling, when you put the padding there, it's kind of like the rails. It helps keep you guided, right, on the journey. And though a lot of us, depending on where you can look at it as, per se, the need for control, which basically it was for that purpose, at that timeline for certain things like religion, but also dominion, domination over you, but to control you from that perspective. So not really as far as control to do it out of hatefulness, but to bring about the awareness of what you're doing, hurting, hating, those kinds of things, right? But in the process of that, we end up doing that sometimes anyway. But anyway, when we are in a state of love, we don't need anything, right? Because just love is. So hate doesn't come out of love. It's the absence of love that comes hate, and the things that we do, and the creation and separation. But when we're in a state of love, we don't need the 10 commandments. We don't need punishments. We don't need judgments. We don't need condemnments. We don't need pointing fingers and who did this and who did that, right? It's all just love. It just is existing. And so the more you can be in alignment with love, true existence, or kindness, which puts you in touch with your